Right, a few people have asked me what's the best way to nip, train, have tame ferrets, and a few people have asked on some of my other videos how I get my ferrets so tame. Now, they're old enough to leave the mother at 8 weeks old, which is what these are now. So if you get a ferret that's 8 weeks old, best thing I can say is just to handle them. The more you handle them, the more they're going to get used to you. They do bite, they do nip, but they're only young, they're just playing and learning. So the more you're going to allow them to learn not to bite when they do bite, the better they're going to be and the more tamer they'll be. Got Betty when she was just gone down the top this age, and I'm comfortable with her doing whatever she wants. She doesn't bite, and one way I do find to stop them biting when they start to bite your fingers is just push your finger gently into the jaw so they can't bite you, and then they tend to stop. And the more you pick them up, put them down, the more they get used to you picking them up and putting them down, and get used to your hands and you handling them, and they don't tend to go for your fingers no more. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, come out then. Come on, go on, sort them out. See, they'll just, even if you don't, obviously, even if not everybody has a hutch this size where you can sit in with them all the time, but when we first got Betty, we used to take her into the house and she used to sit on our lap, and we just used to basically do what we're doing with these. What I'm doing with these now. And the more you do it, the more they get used to you. If you leave it until they're a lot older, then it'll be harder and they'll bite harder, and it'll be harder for them to learn not to bite. Whereas at this age, they're still learning. So this one here is licking my arm. I see a lot on Facebook pages where people say to flick the nose, or you know, tap them on the head or shout at them, but the more they get used to your voice and you handling them and holding them, the less they're going to bite you. Like I say, one way of doing it is you can scruff the necks, which is basically the way that the mothers pick them up and carry them. Same as a kitten. If they get used to doing that, then they'll know that they've done something wrong, or that, you know, they think you're the mother or the father, and you can quite happily handle them and hold them like that. But I personally get used to holding them like that. Go on, go on. Even if you hold them like that, if you don't put the fingers in the mouths or in the way, then they can't bite you so much. I mean, he's trying, but he can't get his teeth in me, and all he can do is sit there. The more time that you're willing to put in, the more that you'll get out of them, and they'll be better workers, they'll be better to handle. If you don't shout at them, if they get used to your voice, you'll realise when you go out working them in the field. And plus, when you get your ferrets at 8 weeks old, if you do get one or two, two's a lot easier to handle than 8, which I have here at the moment. So you can't really expect the person that you're getting your ferrets from to have handled them, every single one of them, for as long every single day as what you're going to do, because at the end of the day, when you get your ferret 8 weeks old, it's down to you really to be handling it as much as you can, for as long as you can. And at the end of the day, they're just like kittens. They're just playing. That's all he's doing. Turn them upside down and rub the bellies. And he's biting your finger, but it's not hard. There's no blood, there's no marks, he's not locked on. When he gets older, he probably will, but he'll have learnt by then, hopefully, not to bite. I like chewing on my boots. Another thing with ferrets as well, that I've sort of learnt over the years, is when you go to pick them up and pull back, don't know if you can see it or not, they think it's a threat. So the first thing they're going to do is try and bite you. If you're more positive with the way you pick them up, then they know not to bite, or that it's safe, or you're not a threat. And I've only really been handling these for the past 6 days, and now these are nowhere near as bad as they were when I first started. And become soft as brush like the mother. There you, soft as a brush. She's a great worker. Corner, just put your back down.